Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor Recon Diver. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, the G.I. Joe star. 60th anniversary logo there. 60 from 1964 to 2024 anniversary. And then here we have, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. 4 and up, assortment number. Nice big window showcasing the figure and the accessories. And then some artwork right there. 60th anniversary logo again. Action Sailor Recon Diver. G.I. Joe Classified Series. Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, main China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode, also recycled. Then on this side, we've got that nice diving artwork again. G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th anniversary. Then on this side, we've got that a repeat of that artwork, just, you know, it's colored a little different. The G.I. Joe star. The QR code, if you want to scan it, it probably just takes you to shop.hasbro.com rather than anything meaningful for this figure. A nice digital render of the figure there. G.I. Joe Classified Series. On the back here, 60th anniversary, a nice practical photography shot of the figure, and then some digital render close-ups of some of the features. Action Sailor Recon Diver includes 1 figure and 17 pieces. Not accessories, but pieces. And then parents, GIJoe.com. GIJoe.com, in case I was unclear with that. I probably was. I stumbled over it a little bit. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick stuff in your French pie hole. Small, fine, legalese, main China print, Hasbro print. And that, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we have handy dandy tweezers here to help us take a look at some of these smaller accessories. And first up, a staple of the original 12-inch G.I. Joe line, the dog tags. And even some more of the, I would say, not necessarily recent, but more modern 12-inch releases of G.I. Joe with the dog tags as well. Here we have a satchel of explosives, it appears. Same satchel that comes with retro Snake Eyes. And I would say it's, there I go bumping the camera, because you can't have a Digital Caveman review without the camera getting bumped. But it does have nice molded details, and it is all molded in one color plastic with no paint apps. And this, I do believe, has, it's like a kind of a gunmetal, and I believe it is a paint app. Now we have his diving knife, which I'm pretty sure we've seen before, either with Torpedo or the Eel, or both. And it has a nice, there I go bumping the camera again. Here's a nice silver paint app for the blade, molded in black plastic. And here we have his primary weapon, all molded in black plastic, it appears. Nice molded details. And this is the same gun that comes with Torpedo. And here we have the ammo magazine for it, and again, Molded in solid color with no paint apps. And port right there, and it just goes in. There we have a piece of diving equipment. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Maybe some kind of weight device or flotation device, or I'm not sure. I am not a diver, so I do not know what this is, but I do know it goes around his neck and over his shoulders. Here we have his scuba pack, I guess. However, there's one glaring omission with this guy. He doesn't have any hoses that lead from his pack to his mask, but it appears to be, I mean, this is the same one that Torpedo and the Eel both use, and it appears to be in two pieces. This piece, which is all molded in black plastic, and then this piece is molded all in this color. And then he's taking out some Cobra. It's Joe issued classified grade property of Special Forces unit, hot for civilian use or resale, meaning civilians can't have that. And next up here we have his diving mask, and I'm guessing what is actually his air, even though it does have a post right there that could have had a hose, and I don't know if it was just an omission. Maybe mine was missing the hose. I'm not sure. And then next up we have his fins, and again same ones that came with, or same mold that came with Torpedo and Cobra Eel, and they're marked right and left. And nice molded details, kind of a flexible rubber or plastic. Next up is his spear gun. Again, it's not anything we haven't seen in the line before. It has a nice silver paint app here at the end of the spear, and for the line it does have a paint app as well, molded in black plastic. Nice details, just like everything else in this set. Here we have another piece of diving equipment, a directional thingamabob. So when they're tracking something down, I guess it's a tracker, and this part is like a compass and maybe a clock. I'm not sure. So, but there it is. It does have a few nice molded details in it, like this straps here, and you'll notice it does have a tab right here, and we'll get into what that's for later. Two nice little tampos right there, it looks like, and then a silver paint app there for the compass. Next up we have his sidearm and suppressor. And again, I know we've seen this before. I don't recall exactly where. Perhaps Stalker, but a more realistic looking sidearm. It does have an extended magazine here, and here's the suppressor. We've seen this several times. I do believe Stalker, one of the Commando Snake Eyes, not the Retro one, the other one, Alpha Commandos, I think. And the way that works, it's got a port in the barrel and a post on the suppressor, and that's how that works. And let's see, what do we got left? Alright, here's this piece of this thing, and it's got a big warning label on it. Submersible to be used by trained military personnel. Misuse of this vehicle may result in failure of mission and destruction of property and or persons, please read the fine print below before operating. And then you can't really make out the fine print. So there is that. It's got a nice little screen on it that has nothing on it. So a tampo would have been nice there in addition to this tampo, but it's all molded in one solid color. And then it's got the G.I. Joe star and stripes on this side. It's a tampo. And here's the other piece for it, the propeller. The propeller does move, but there's no actual way to get in there and make it move. So there is a sticker right here. At least I believe it's a sticker. It may be a tampo of some kind, but I do believe it's a sticker. And it does have some nice molded details as well. And this is all molded in one color. And the blade is a separate piece. There's actually 3 pieces here. This piece, and the blade. And this piece and this piece molded in solid color. The blade molded in that solid grayish color, and then it looks like there's a paint amp here for the handles, and then up here it's paint amp as well. And these two work together where this has a port in it, this has a post on it, and there you go. Although it looks odd, I don't know. To me, at least, anyway. Here we have the stand, and it's nothing new. We've seen this in the retro line and several exclusive releases. And it's got the G.I. Joe star into it, and 2 posts, and a place for a name plaque. And it really looks like that 25th anniversary 3 3/4 line stand. Last accessory is the alternate head, and it is a different ethnicity as to what comes on the figure. And I will have to say, it does have nice sculpted details in there, and they did a really good job on the face printing. I mean, that just looks great. Now, as far as the figure himself, let's take a look. And again, it's got a different ethnicity for the face, so you can put them however you want, I guess. At least you can make them black, or you can make them white. And again, nice molded details there. And again, the inkjet for the face does a really good job. Looks like he's got a paint app right here. Some of this on the under the overlay, you can't really see what details are going on there, but it looks like most of it is just molded in black plastic. And if you've seen an eel review, or you've seen a torpedo review, then you know pretty much everything about this mold, because it's the same mold, just maybe not some of the tampos and stuff. So we got a little bit of two-tone going on here, and then all kinds of overlays. This overlay with holsters and stuff on it. He's got this piece of tech on his wrist or forearm. He's got a sheath for the knife. He's got this little baggie. He's got these hooks. And that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high. He can look down that far. He's got chicken neck. He's got waggle. And you can see it's on that 3-piece with the ball at the bottom of the neck and the dumbbell at the top. And so, just say he's got waggle. He can do the full exorcist. 360-degree rotation at the shoulder. On a butterfly joint, it can go back that far. It can go forward that far. And let's see how high he can raise it. Pretty good bit past 90 degrees there. Cut at the upper bicep for another 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow. Gives you that much bend. 360-degree rotation at the wrist on up and down hinge, and the other side is in and no, it's up and down as well. My bad. So we've got that. Now there's what's in there. I think there's a standard ab hinge in there, but you don't really get much out of that by itself. With this overlay, it really does block up a lot of it. He's got a ball joint here at the waist as well, and in conjunction, those two can let him lean back slightly, lean forward slightly. He's got a little bit of hula. He can lean left and right. He does rotate 360 degrees there at the waist. Pull down hinge at the hips. He can give you the full splits. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees and backwards maybe about 3 steps. Cut at the upper thigh gives you another 360 degree rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. It might actually get a little bit more if this piece wasn't in the way, but it does block it up just slightly, but not, I wouldn't say a whole lot. So that's about all you can get out of it. Then at the lower shin, there is a boot cut, even though he's not wearing a boot, I wouldn't say. So another 360 degree rotation there. At the ankles, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. So these little pieces, they don't really like to stay where they're supposed to. But let's talk about his accessory storage. Right here on his thigh, you can get his diving knife right on in there. And let's see what's next. The pistol. Take it apart, and this part goes in here, and then the suppressor goes over here. And it goes in there pretty well, and it's tight. I put it in there right. I don't know. Well, it's in there now, folks. I'll have to pry it out later. Or not. I may just leave it like that. Then, let's see. His fins, diving fins. Just put his toes in. And just make sure it comes around the back of his foot. And then did the other one exactly the same. Alright, there we go. So he's ready for a swim now. But just a swim. Here we have his diving mask. Well, forgot an important part. I'll pop his head off. We gotta give him his dog tags. Then we gotta put this piece on. And I suppose you could leave it off if you wanted. Because again, I'm not really sure. Is it a life vest maybe? That, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna quit guessing because I don't know what it is. Now his face mask got strapped on the top and all the way around, and you just kind of fit it over his face so that he don't drown when he goes diving. That would be bad. It's got a post on the back of it. There's a port right here. So with this on, it will hamper the articulation some. So there's that. Then the Wayfinder, I guess is what it is. And that's got a nice 24 tampon on it that I missed before. So that post or tab we were talking about, there's a slot right there. So that goes like that. And of course the spear gun, just like the other two divers, you fit the hoop around his wrist, and then work the handle into his hand. I'm going to do that off screen. So there we go. Got that all in his hand. Holds it just like the other two. Next up, the backpack. Of course, it's got a post on the back of it. He has a port in his back. And just make sure the vest and everything's lined up. And again, you know, this backpack doesn't make a lot of sense, or air pack, air tanks, whatever, because there's no hose leading up here. But again, I'm not a diving expert. I've never been diving. I don't know anything about it other than you got air tanks and you go under the water. Just like Torpedo and the eel, he's got a clip right here. Or I think, no, the eel didn't have that clip, but Torpedo does. And so the gun fits right in there for storage purposes. The satchel, just goes over him like that. And I think he's getting a little bit weighed down, so he may not be able to carry everything all at one time. And then of course the fins also have the holes in them that lead to the holes in the foot, so that he can still wear his diving fins and use the stand. And you just line all those things up, and then of course pieces are going to start falling off. And then, so like I said, the satchel, you know, you may have to pick and choose your stuff. And then he can hold the submersible vehicle. And there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor Recon Diver with a G.I. Joe Classified Series Torpedo and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Eel. Here's the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor Recon Diver with the Valaverse Action Force Steel Brigade and the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Valaverse Action Force Night Ops Steel Brigade. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor Recon Diver with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. Our final Classified Series comparison, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor Recon Diver. I have to say, this guy comes just like the infantry, Action Soldier Infantry, comes with a ton of accessories. Some of them new, most of them not. And, you know, I think it's a good mix. We do get reuse, you know, I would guess about 90% reuse on this guy. The figure itself is, you know, Torpedo and the eel. And most of the accessories are Torpedo. Now with this, we do get the little handheld vehicle. We get the new mask and the directional doodad, the 2 chest overlays, and 2 new head sculpts with this figure. And, you know, I think that's appropriate. I would say that's about 10% new versus 90% reuse. And I don't mind the reuse as long as it makes sense. And in this case, it does make sense. Now, to me, there's one issue, and some of you might think it's a minor issue. I think it's a pretty big issue with this figure, and there's no way for him to access his air supply that's on his back. Where is the hose? I don't know. Seems like there should have been a hose. And then I realize he's got this, you know, pack on the front that the mask is connected to, and I don't know if that's a rebreather or an emergency oxygen tank. Yeah, I'm not a diver. I don't dive. I don't study diving. Sometimes I watch documentaries where people are diving, and that's about the extent of my knowledge of diving, is seeing other people do it. So it just could be equipment I'm not familiar with. Or it just could be they forgot to put a hose in with this figure. I don't know. But I think that's actually a pretty big omission, and some of you might think it's a minor thing. And in the long run, maybe it is a minor thing. It just seems like, you know, there should be a hose so that he can access that air supply. But that's it. I do like this figure. I think he's really cool. I can see some of this stuff getting reused when they get around to doing wetsuit, but in much brighter colors. So I would have to say, overall, I do really dig this guy, and I think he's actually pretty cool. I did see on Instagram where someone gave him the name Orca, and I really wish I could remember whose feed I saw that on so that I could give them credit for that, because I really like that. I think it's a clever name for this figure, and, you know, it could be that, you know, that's just this guy's name, or maybe the Orcas are the group that works under Torpedo. I don't know. But I think it's a really cool name for this guy. And, you know, if you had like some white paint on the sides of his head, hood, whatever that piece is called, the headpiece of the wetsuit, you know, 2 little white dots on either side of the head, you know, that would just really set it off for this guy. But, you know, that wasn't the aim here. It wasn't to make an individual. It was to make an army builder, and I think they succeeded at that. You know, if you need an army of divers for whatever reason. But again, overall, I really do think this is a good entry in the line, and I like him, and I'm going to call him Orca. And thank you to whoever came up with that. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.